How's it going, good people? My name's Pedro, and let me ask you a quick question. If you had $1 right now, what would you go ahead and do with it? Some of you might go ahead and get a cheap cup of coffee. Here 7-Eleven makes a cup of coffee for $1. Probably wouldn't recommend it though. Some of you would go ahead and take that dollar, invest it in the stock market, and over 50 years time with a 5% interest, you'll get a cash-on-cash return of about $12.50. Now for those kind of people, I'd probably just call you straight boring. Now, what if I told you could take that dollar and with it you could get access to over 100 Xbox titles right on your PC? Don't believe me? Let me introduce you to Xbox Gamepass. So now what is Xbox Gamepass? To put it simply, Gamepass is the Netflix of gaming. So essentially you pay a nominal monthly no lock-in fee, and from that you essentially get access to the entire Gamepass library. From shooters through to family-friendly titles, Gamepass has you covered, with independent developers and AAA studios alike all making games that are on the Gamepass library. And with all of the games that you can get on Gamepass, you effectively will make back your investment of $1 within an hour, in all honesty. So let me explain a little bit of how I can quantify the entertainment expense of Gamepass. So when it comes to entertainment, essentially I try and follow a 1-to-1 rule. So basically, for every dollar I spend, I'm looking to get about an hour of entertainment out of it. So for example, if a game was to cost like $60, I'd be looking to get about 60 hours of entertainment out of that. Now, I know there are exceptions to this rule, obviously, but on a whole, this is generally what I try and follow. So now let's take that same example of a $60 game, and it's the same game, but instead of $60, you bring it down to $1. Now, I'll let you do the math on that one to see whether that's good value or not. So now we know what Xbox Game Pass is, but what exactly do you get out of the subscription? Game Pass can effectively be broken down into 3 main tiers. That's console, PC, and Ultimate. Talking about those first two for a bit, on both console and PC, you get access to day one launches of all Xbox Studio games. So games like Halo Infinite and Psychonauts 2 will be coming out day one on Game Pass. Along with that, obviously you get access to the full Game Pass library, and along with that, you also get discounts on any of the games on Game Pass. Games also rotate monthly on Game Pass, so for example, if a game was leaving Game Pass and you wanted to keep it after it went off, you basically can buy that at a discounted rate through the Game Pass app, which effectively is a pretty good discount from what I'm seeing, with games going anywhere from $5 off all the way up to $20 and $30 off AAA titles. And now for the big boy, Game Pass Ultimate. Effectively, you get access to everything I mentioned before, along with being able to access Game Pass on both console and PC at the same time. You also get in-game exclusive content. So this can be things like DLC or even cosmetics that are exclusive for Ultimate members. Now, along with that as well, they've also gone ahead and thrown in Xbox Gold. So this is Xbox's multiplayer subscription service. So with that, as long as you have Ultimate, you'll basically be able to play Xbox multiplayer and claim all of the free games they give out every month on Xbox Gold. In the past, they've actually given out some really good titles from things like Tomb Raider, things like Assassin's Creed, just to sort of name a few. Now, if that was enough value already, have you heard of Microsoft xCloud Gaming? Now, I could do an entire video dedicated to xCloud, but on a high level, xCloud's a gaming platform by Microsoft that lets users play games on more than just their TVs and consoles. Now, this is really good for anyone who either doesn't own a console, anyone who'd be wanting to get into gaming but doesn't want to make that investment into a console, or anyone who'd want to have a better gaming experience on the go. Now, this really does change the way that users can access their games, because you can now play the games you want, wherever you want, whenever you want, and however you want. It doesn't lock you into being tied to either a monitor or either a TV, which is kind of phenomenal. So now you're probably thinking, Game Pass is pretty good, but what's the catch? Am I signing my soul away? Are you going to take one of my kidneys? Or worse, am I going to have ads shoved down my throat? And from what I can tell, Game Pass doesn't really work like that. Xbox makes a whole bunch of money off the users subscribing to the system. Developers make their money from Xbox paying them to host their games on Game Pass, and then along with that, they'll also residually make money off DLC from the end users themselves. So this ends up being a win-win for both the developers, Xbox, and the consumers, all at the same time, because we get to access games for next to nothing. Developers make a bunch of money, and Xbox obviously makes a bunch of money. So everyone's pretty happy all in all. Now, who would I recommend Game Pass to, and do I think it's any good? Obviously, after all this, you can probably guess that I think Xbox Game Pass is fantastic. It's great for anyone who either wants to give gaming a shot, can't afford buying all of the latest titles, or anyone who wants to have a bit of a different gaming experience either on the go, at a friend's house, or just on their smartphone or tablet. Now, which tier of Game Pass would I recommend for people? Effectively, if you have just a console or a PC, I'd say just get those separate tiers alone, but if you have a console and like playing multiplayer, the Ultimate might be worth it for you. Along with that as well, anyone who owns both a console and a PC, and at the same time will make use of the multiplayer, I think getting the Ultimate subscription would be great for you as well. So that's been Game Pass in a nutshell. If you enjoyed it, be the cool guy or girl to drop a like, get subscribed down below, and maybe drop a comment on what games you'll be looking to check out. I know for me, I'm looking forward to playing The Outer Worlds by Obsidian, but either way, my name's been Pedro. Hope you all have a good one.